Today I'm going to show you guys how to kind of finish these drawings up with the text. So on the wrenches you guys have text, you have text right here in the inside of the tool, and it's raised, so it's like a relief. So it's a raised surface. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then for those of you that have the pliers, you guys all have text basically sort of like printed on the handle right here, and this is kind of hard to see because of how far I am. So yeah, you have the text there. I apologize to those of you who are Bengals fans. These are Pittsburgh brands, so I can't do anything about that. They were cheap. That makes you feel better. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that text. All right? I'll do the pliers first. So let me kind of get set up here. Now, if you've ever drawn block letters before, that's basically what we're going to do. Okay? I'm going to kind of zoom in on this just so that it's easier to see. And of course, I do have, actually, I might turn on the lights here. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So I'm going to turn on the lights just for this part, and then I'll turn them back off for the shading part. So we're going to do this Pittsburgh right here. Basically, what it is just block lettering, okay? But the first thing we need to do is we got to figure out, where does this need to go? You don't want to necessarily go straight into this and start drawing these letters onto your drawing, because chances are you might be drawing them on there the wrong size or in the wrong place. So basically what we want to do is figure out where the word needs to go first, and then we're going to plug it in, okay? So what I'm going to do on my drawing, I'm going to basically mark on my tool here where I believe the text needs to go. I'm just going to kind of mark it. So this is where it's going to start, and this is where it's going to end. Give myself boundaries. Now, I'm one of those people that if I don't give myself boundaries, I draw things too big. It's just like sort of my natural instinct is just to kind of draw too big. So I give myself these sort of guidelines, and it helps keep me on track, so to speak. All right, so you want to figure out where they've got to go. All right? What I'm going to do to make this easy on myself is I'm going to go ahead and turn my tool drawing this way so that I'm basically drawing them on there just in a more natural way. Now, my letters are white because I have black handles. You guys have orange handles and black text. So it's going to make it pretty easy, actually, for you guys to do this. I'm going to go ahead and pretend like I have orange handles just so that way what I'm doing matches more what you guys should be doing, okay? So what you're going to do is the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out where the middle is of this space. So we're just going to eye this in the middle, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line in the middle of that space where I see my text going. So draw a line in the middle. So again, this is the beginning of where my word needs to be. This is going to be the middle, and this is going to be the end. And this is an old, actually typing, when I learned how to type on a computer skill, actually I learned how to type on a typewriter. So you guys probably don't even know what that is anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the number of letters that I have. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 letters. The middle of those letters, okay, is going to be, so if you think about 10, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The middle of my word needs to be between the S and the B of Pittsburgh. So what I'm going to do to start this off, I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to start in the middle of my word, and I'm just going to start with the S and the B, and I actually need to bring those closer to each other. It always amazes me how much I change things even before I get started. So I want to bring them closer. Okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in. because this is kind of small writing. This at the top there, so those of you can see. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm just going to basically kind of plug in the rest. So I'm not writing these letters down in a natural fashion where you start writing with the first letter and then you move towards the last. I'm starting in the middle and I'm working my way out. So I'm just going to do the back part of it. So I'm going to do the U, the R, the G, and the H. All making sure that I can get these letters all the same height, so I need to go in and just kind of fix that up a little bit. So there's the last half of the word. Now I'm going to go in, and I'm actually going to start right next to the S. I'm going to work my way backwards again. So I'm going to do my 2 T's. I already think they're too far apart from each other, so I'm going to do that again. So if it doesn't look right to you, trust yourself. You are probably correct. And this I, and then the P. And then it should fill itself in. After I get the word on there and I like it, I can go ahead and get rid of my guidelines, bring back whatever I need to in my drawing, and now I can go through and just kind of thicken this up a little bit to make it feel more blocky. Keep working on that text, guys. So you're just going to go through. So you're just going to go through and you're just going to kind of thicken this up a little bit. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Those of you that have pliers, you've got it easy with this text, because this is pretty much all you've got to do. Okay? There you got your Pittsburgh. I think my letters actually got smaller as it goes down. Okay. All right. Wrench people. Going to talk about yours. Let me zoom back out here. Wrench people, yours is a little different, okay, because your text on here rises up off of the surface. We're not going to actually we're not going to deal with that quite right now. We're going to just basically figure out where this is going to be first. We're going to draw these like true block letters, and then a lot of this raised look is going to come through when we start shading. All right, so we're going to start this the same way I did with the pliers. We've got to figure out where this stuff has got to go first. So I'm going to put my tool back up here on my easel, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the pliers, is that I'm just going to basically figure out where this has got to go. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this midline that I have drawn all the way through my tool, because I don't need it anymore. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. All right, I'm going to turn this on its side. I'm going to zoom in so it's easier for you guys to see. And then same thing, I'm going to basically block in. So now I have a measurement and I have the word Pittsburgh to put in there. So I'm going to block in where I think my measurement needs to go. And mine's a little different than yours. I think you guys have a little bit more info on yours. So mine just says 10 inches, but I think yours goes into more detail. And then I'm going to also put where the Pittsburgh needs to go. So again, I'm just kind of giving myself guidelines. The other thing I might do too, which probably would have helped me on the pliers, I might just go ahead and make these boxes so I know how tall things need to be. Because on those pliers, I was having a hard time keeping the letters all the same size. This might help save me some time if I do this first. I might actually make this a little bit longer this way. So again, just look at how much you're thinking about what you're doing before you actually do it. I think a lot of people who may not have, if I wouldn't have talked to you about how to do this, you probably would have just gone it straight in and started writing these letters down, and letters and numbers. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start now. Unfortunately, part of mine is covered up here. I need to see that. I'm going to just start here now. I just have 10 and then the double quotation marks to represent the measurement. I'm just going to go straight into this because I don't have much. And I'm going to just start by making these into like block letters. A lot of times when I do block letters, if you don't have much experience with this, I draw the outside of it first, and then I kind of cut into the inside. I do find that that helps me. So I'm drawing them like that, and then I have my double quotation marks I have to put in here. And then once I'm done, I can get rid of, again, that guideline, that box that I gave myself to kind of draw into. Okay. Now for the word Pittsburgh, we're going to do the same thing we did for the pliers. You want to find the middle. And I'm just eyeing this, actually adding a little bit more to my spacing here. Same thing, I'm going to start in the middle, just like I did with the pliers. I should have my S on the left and then my B on the right. I just want to make sure that I'm not drawing these in too big or too small. So it might take you a few tries. S's are hard, actually. My first name is Stephanie, so anytime I was a kid and wanted to draw my name in bubble letters, this was my biggest challenge, was getting that S. So I'm already on my second attempt here on my S. There, that looks better. Once I get my two middle letters on there, then I'm going to just fill in the rest. So I'm going to actually do the last part of Pittsburgh first, and I'm going to just kind of work this out. Now again, these guidelines that I created for myself, this box, is just a suggestion. So if I end up you know, starting to plug in these letters and I find out that I didn't use up all the space or if I need a little bit more. If it's just a little bit more, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I'll just go ahead and expand my space. But if I'm drawing them way too big and maybe I've already hit the end of this box by the time I get to my R, then I probably need to change something. But if it's just part of a letter, that's different. Now this is the difference between drawing and writing. What we're doing right now is we're drawing. We're not writing. There's the last half. And then I'm going to work on the first half. I'm going to just start with the T right next to the S first. I'm having problems with my teeth. Okay. Once you get it drawn on there, again, we're drawing, not writing, you can get rid of your original guidelines. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to do that. And that's how you do the text for both. I'm going to zoom out here so you can see both. That's it. Okay, so there's both of them. So that's how you do the text.